Hello, Sacred Heart. It's Deacon Jack Razika here, and today I have the privilege of giving our daily Lenten reflection for today. Today's Thursday, February 18th, and I encourage you that if you didn't get the chance to go to Mass today, to go to the USCCB website, that's the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops, and to go to they have a tab for the daily readings, and I encourage you to go to those readings and look them all up because for the first reading, the responsorial psalm and the gospel are just very rich. They're very profound and very apropos for the beginning of this Lenten season. And I'm tempted to talk about all of them, but I'm not going to do that. Instead, I want to focus on the responsorial psalm, which is Psalm 1. And I think sometimes whenever we do go to Mass, I think it's easy to forget the responsorial psalm, but the Psalms are such beautiful prayers. And this psalm in particular, I think, has a lot to teach us. And so I'm going to read the first stanza of Psalm 1, and that will be my reflection for today. So from Psalm 1, the first stanza is, "Blessed the man who follows not the counsel of the wicked, nor walks in the way of sinners, nor sits in the company of the insolent, but delights in the law of the Lord, and meditates on his law day and night." So this part of Psalm 1 is kind of painting a picture for us, if you will. It's painting a picture showing us the progression of sin and the progression of evil. That, for instance, most people don't wake up in the morning thinking, all right, what's the nastiest thing I can do? What's the greatest sin that I can commit? We find ourselves committing these great sins by letting the small stuff escape us and letting the small stuff kind of build up and lead kind of into bigger sins. And so that's what the language of the psalm is getting, that progression of following the wicked, walking in the company of sinners, and then sitting in their company. So when we find ourselves walking with evil, we're just kind of walking along, and then the worst part is to be sitting in evil and to be mired in sin and to be sitting in our sin. And so we only find ourselves sitting in that sin when we've allowed ourselves to walk in the company of that evil, in the company of that temptation. And so Psalm 1 is telling us and teaching us to be mindful of those little sins and those little temptations that come our way and to deny those. So by rejecting those, we save ourselves, we prevent ourselves from falling into deeper sin. And just personally in my own life, I've been really convicted of that, especially in the way when it comes to people in my life that I find kind of frustrating or difficult to deal with, or people that I find difficult to love and to be kind to. I allow myself to walk in the company of sin and to sit in it by when I allow myself to be sarcastic or to say snarky comments that kind of put the other guy down, or to be kind of passive aggressive, thinking that, if I'm passive aggressive and if I'm snarky to this guy, that'll make me feel better. And ultimately it doesn't. That's the result of me sitting kind of in that sin. And so I really felt called this Lent by the Lord to be intentionally respectful and kind to these people by, not like I got to go bake a cake for them or anything, but just the least that I can do, which really isn't that hard, is to hold my tongue when I find myself boiling up inside wanting to say something or to be passive aggressive, to instead to smile and to say, hey, God bless you, and then go along my way. Like, that is a incredible way to deny ourselves and take up the cross, like Jesus says in the gospel, to deny ourselves the satisfaction of being passive aggressive and being rude. Because ultimately, that does not lead to our happiness and does not lead to our fulfillment. And it is not honoring the gift that other person is, that the gift that God created them to be. And so that's just my encouragement. That's my thought for all of us here at Sacred Heart to consider, and to take those words of Psalm 1 to heart, to think about, to examine my life and to examine my conscience and to think, where do I entertain and where do I allow myself to be in the company of evil and to let the little sins build up into bigger ones, and to find those little sins and instead to reject them, to turn my eyes to be fixed on Christ, and then to carry my cross and deny myself and follow him. And so that's sort of my reflection, and I hope that you find any part of it beneficial. But please know of my prayers, and please know that I'm praying for you that you may have a blessed and very fruitful Lent where we can all grow in our love of the Lord. So thank you very much, Sacred Heart. Have a blessed day, and God bless you.